She's in shock. Ripa claims that her husband Mark Consuelos' live episode is the messiest ever when he makes a public gaffe. Following an on-air error by Mark Consuelos, Ripa dubbed a recent live show the messiest ever. Kelly sharply scolded Mark when he repeatedly pronounced the name of a sweepstakes contestant inaccurately. Kelly and Mark held a giveaway for a lucky phone-in participant called Caroline on Friday's live program. A producer threw a wheel on a game show, and the destination was Antigua. Kelly clarified that it was inclusive and asked, "That means it includes Mark?" With a clumsy everything, all of it, Mark answered, restating Kelly's previous statement. With a sidelong glance at her husband, Kelly provided more information, stating that the reward was worth $8,100. In order to receive the vacation, Caroline had to respond to a trivia question in 20 seconds. Just as Mark opened the question, he mispronounced her name. "All right, Carolyn," he said. "We're going now." "No, that's not okay, Carolyn." With a snap, Kelly made the audience silent. "Caroline," Mark corrected himself with awkwardness. Caroline could be heard repeating, "Caroline. But it's fine, over the phone. I'm constantly called Carolyn by my granny. All is well, Carolyn," began Mark again, as though he had not heard the whole explanation. Kelly stated, "No, things aren't okay. Caroline is here," gazing down at her spouse. "This show is the messiest we've ever had," the presenter went on. "No, that's not okay, Carolyn." With a snap, Kelly made the audience silent. "Caroline," Mark corrected himself with awkwardness. Caroline could be heard repeating, "Caroline. But it's fine, over the phone. I'm constantly called Carolyn by my granny. All is well, Carolyn," began Mark again, as though he had not heard the whole explanation. Kelly stated, "No, things aren't okay. Caroline is here," gazing down at her spouse. "This show is the messiest we've ever had," the presenter went on. Mark then read the query. "Earlier this week we talked to Michael C. Hall. What musical did Michael say he starred in and met the drummer in his band?" Caroline received the Beaky Award for answering correctly as Hedwig, and the Angry Inch. Awful for names. Mark seemed to have forgotten the name of the hockey player he was thinking of on the program from November 14th, only a few days prior. Kelly and Mark discussed a few of the subjects covered that day. "Extremely exciting news for Patrick Lundqvist," declared Mark. An uncertain Kelly answered, "All right." The name Mark had provided was incorrect. He was speaking of Henrik Lundqvist, a former professional ice hockey goalie from Sweden. Mark corrected himself, as if realizing his error, saying, "Henrik Lundqvist. Who's Patrick?" He continued. Kelly asked her husband, "Are you okay?" with a hint of concern in her voice. Though he laughed, Mark responded, "No, I'm not okay." His wife went on in a frustrated tone, "He's been on this show. You've conversed with him." As a joke, Mark said, "He's very handsome, too."